Hello everyone, my name is Chris. I just finished the gaming session with a new patch, I believe it's 2.4.0, and instead of looking through the patch notes and telling you what changed, I actually wanted to share my experiences and thoughts about the current state of the finals. I'm pretty sure that this was one of the most enjoyable gaming sessions I've had in the finals for the past months. Partly because I haven't experienced any hackers in ranked for 3 hours we played with my friends. Partly because the FPS was quite better. I found out that my 1% FPS and 0.1% FPS lows were really nice. The ranked was pretty decent. It wasn't super challenging, but at the same time, it felt nice to the point where if you would make obvious mistakes, you're gonna get punished, but still, they have to work on that. I feel like the finals is the game that deserves a lot more recognition. Developers were just a little bit late on updates, and a lot of my friends who are really, really good at the game and have the potential to become pro players if there would be conditions actually left the game, and a lot of casual players left, and you can see that in player drops. But instead of blaming the developers and saying what went wrong, I actually wanted to record this video to be a little bit grateful for the things they did. The finals is one of the most unique and interesting FPS titles, and it's gonna sound very cliche, but I feel like we have to give developers a little bit more time, in a sense that the season 1 was another open beta, and they are still trying to figure out the ways to do it. This is the first time they're playing or making the game like this. This is the first time they are leaving. So it's going to be obvious that they will experience some problems along the way. I feel like the biggest concern for me personally, and why I don't want to play 12 hours of the finals every single day, is the ranked system. It's pretty unrewarding to the point where I have to find a good 3 stack because solo queue is not working, and then I would have to consistently play against players that are lower skill level than me, because developers decided to balance the queue time to the skill-based matchmaking to the point where you find the game relatively quickly, but as a trade-off, you get everyone in your games. You can have a guy that just unlocked ranked and have no idea what he's doing. He's also solo queuing, and he's gonna be at the same game as you are playing with your pre-made stack that you've played together, and it's just gonna be a complete disaster. But if developers are gonna fix it some way or another, maybe they will create like a diamond league or something where they would go for only good players, right? So you have a threshold, like a Faceit Pro League in CS, but a little bit lower skill floor, where you can enter like above a certain rank, above a certain, experience level. That would be nice. Another problem I've personally had are cheaters. It was painful. It was obvious the guys would rage hack and still not get banned days, weeks, and months after. But it feels like with this update, it did not get fixed fully. I haven't encountered, or any of my friends haven't encountered a hacker, but I feel like this problem will still reappear sooner or later. The cheaters will never go away, and the only way developers can kind of tackle this problem is by looking at AI options, where you would have an engine that would look at the player performance per game, and if you have a person that has 95% headshot rate and he's shooting through shields and he's not missing bullets, that's obvious that he is using some sort of cheats, and then you can try to look at the replay of a person manually just to see if he's hacking or not. This way, you will drastically decrease the population of hackers in this game and make ranked a lot more enjoyable than it is right now. But I feel like the biggest problem is that it's very difficult, expensive, and requires a lot of effort and time, which Embark does not have, because it feels very overwhelming. Like looking at their patches, They are doing an absolutely amazing job. They are trying to fix the holes so the ship does not sink, but in reality, you are aimed at the mountains, right? So it doesn't matter if you sink or not, because the end destination is very dark and like I don't know. Like, as a really good player, I find it very strange why we still don't have tournaments, Twitch rivals, any coverage, any advertisement, and partly due to the like budget things. Maybe they just don't have enough money, partly because they don't feel like the game is at the spot where you wanna introduce that to the player base, and we are still like at an invite only phase where you're like, oh, my friend is playing the finals and he's in love with this game, so I'm gonna try it as well, in comparison with like Raid Shadow Legends, show it on every single screen, right? But yeah, I feel like this is a great time to really appreciate what developers are doing for us, because coming from other FPS titles, I, as a player, felt very, very neglected, felt very like alone, in a sense that developers would not have any feedback for months, where you would have a very annoying bug that takes 10 minutes to fix, a few lines of code, and it's still in a game, and it's ruining the like performance, it's ruining the experience of players, making them very unhappy, right? So I would say that we just need more time, right? As bad as it sounds, finals just need more time as a game. Like, the finals just need more time. If it's gonna take months, I'm ready to wait. If it's gonna take 5 months, 6 months, a year, I'm ready to wait. I feel like the biggest problem is that people want everything good and now, but in reality, it doesn't work like this. It doesn't work like this in any area of your life. Yet gamers expect it in the finals for some reason, right? So I would say that this is one of the most like game-changing updates. They didn't do anything particularly exceptional. They just fixed fundamental issues, and happiness is not something extraordinary. It's just the lack of fundamental problems. And if you enter the game, like, let's imagine the situation where the finals at its like peak form, right? They fixed everything. You enter the game, maybe you want a solo queue, you get players that are on your level, and you are just playing the game. All of you are in voice chat, all of you are like dedicated to become better players, right? And you are playing as a team. And then if you want to play with your boys, you wait for like 5-10 minutes to get a good 64 player lobby, and then you play together, and it's gonna be like a scream environment. Everything is gonna be very difficult, and then if you don't want to do that, you just go bank it or like quick cash and have some fun if you are a casual player, right? And you don't experience any cheaters. The balance is amazing. Everything's gonna be nice. This is probably a copium video, but you know, I made a few very, very toxic videos in the past, and I feel like it is time for me to change my perspective from being judgmental to being grateful, because of all the good things this game gave to me. So many players that I would have never met because they are super extraordinary at other FPS titles, yet I have the chance to play with them in this game. This is lovely. I want to thank Embark for what they're doing. They are trying their absolute hardest, and you can actually tell. Thank you very much for watching. See you.